This is a special edition of PFTPM focusing on the news that emerged out of nowhere on Tuesday morning regarding a criminal case against Patriots receiver Stefon Diggs. Specifically, he faces a felony strangulation or suffocation charge and an assault and battery charge. That one is a misdemeanor. The report first surfaced via Boston25news.com. The Patriots have since issued a statement acknowledging the charges. We'll read that to you in a minute. For now, though, here are the details. There are none. We don't know what is alleged. We don't know what supposedly happened. We do know that the incident occurred, if at all, on December 2nd, the day after the Patriots beat the Giants on Monday Night Football at Gillette Stadium. Per the report, Diggs' lawyers were in court on Tuesday trying to argue that the police report should remain sealed. That would keep the details secret. Common sense tells us the details must not be savory, to say the least, for the lawyers to actually try to keep the police report from being made available to the public. Police reports are almost always made available to the public because they're public records. And allegations are allegations. Stefon Diggs will have all available protections in the criminal court system, but the allegation is what it is. That's how a case gets started. So there are three prongs to this situation that I think we need to be aware of. First, the criminal case. We don't know how far this will go. Will it go to a jury trial? Will there be a plea at some point? Will it even get past the initial hurdles of probable cause? Will there be a grand jury indictment? Will the grand jury refuse to indict? These are all things to play out within the confines of the criminal justice system. So that's number one, and that's something that will move at its own pace, in its own time, and reach its own conclusion. Then there's the Patriots. They've got one game left in the regular season. They've got the postseason coming. What do they have to say about this? Here is the statement that the Patriots issued as sent to PFT at 11:48 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday. The New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. Out of respect for all parties involved, and given that this is an ongoing legal matter, we will have no further comment at this time. So the two most important points from that statement: number one, per the Patriots, Stefon categorically denies the allegations. Now, they say they've been made aware of the accusations. Do they have access to the details of the police report that Diggs' lawyers have tried to keep sealed? We don't know that part. They don't address that part. The second thing that I think is noteworthy, when they say we support Stefon, they're not going to do anything. When Jabril Peppers was accused of domestic violence, Robert Kraft said if the allegations are true, he's gone. Well, they let the process play out through a jury trial that resulted in an acquittal of Jabril Peppers, and the Patriots kept him on the team. So they're going to apply that same precedent here. It's an accusation. It hasn't been proven. Until it is, he's part of the team. So that's where the Patriots stand. The last part, and I think this is the most important one as it relates to his availability to play in the coming weeks, with some important games coming up once the postseason gets rolling. The league, under the personal conduct policy, will have the ability, if it chooses to do so, to put Stefon Diggs on the commissioner exempt list, paid leave. That isn't something that happens all the time. That is something the league has discretion to use. A lot of it depends upon the victim. Was it a domestic violence situation? Was it Stefon Diggs fighting with someone else? Did it happen out in public? Did it happen at home? There's a lot of factors that the league would consider in making a decision preliminarily as to whether or not he should be put on paid leave. That's separate from any punishment that would be imposed when the criminal case is resolved. And that's what the league does now. This is one of the byproducts of the misadventures the league had with Ray Rice. They're not going to take any action under the personal conduct policy as it relates to punishment until the criminal case is fully and completely resolved. But they do reserve the right to intervene early, do a preliminary investigation, and make a decision as to whether or not the player should be put on paid leave, which would make him unavailable to the New England Patriots until, obviously, the paid leave ends. And that hinges on what the league finds, what the league concludes, and whether or not the league decides that he shouldn't play at all until the criminal case is fully and completely resolved. So that's where it stands right out of the gates. We'll see if there are additional developments. We'll see if the police report becomes available and what the reaction to that may be. We'll see if Diggs says anything himself. For now, all he's said is to the Patriots, he categorically denies the accusations. And obviously, this is something that we will continue to report on, we'll continue to follow, we'll continue to analyze, because it instantly becomes one of the most significant stories in an NFL season that is rocketing toward the playoffs. Diggs has had a productive year in his first season with the Patriots, 82 catches, 970 yards, and 4 touchdowns. If all of a sudden they don't have him because he's put on paid leave, that has a real competitive impact on how the playoffs will unfold. But obviously there's a human side to this. There's a victim who is making an accusation, utilizing the criminal justice system. That person has rights. Diggs has rights. That all plays out separately. It all kind of links together as it relates to the NFL. And again, we'll continue to track it, and we'll give you updates as warranted, both at profootballtalk.com and here at PFT PM. Thanks for some of your time, and we'll talk to you again soon. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.